Thanks very much for joining us. This is What's Up Today, your show Farah daily updates. My name is Cynthia Mutua. Consider me your informant. Now today we have a highline of very unique stories as always. For you, we're going to be talking about more Farah's real accounts that are going to be coming up in the new documentary that's going to be airing on BBC. We're also going to be talking about students in other parts of the world have been urged to carry clear backpacks. We're also going to be covering the story of NASA images that have come out of never seen before images of the galaxy. And we're also going to be talking about areas in the world where they have lowered their speed limit to 20 miles per hour, among other stories. Of course, let's get to the first story of the day. The truth is, I am not who you think I am. These are Mo Farah's words, the world's most successful British track athlete in modern Olympics today. But then the accounts he has been giving in his interviews are different from the real accounts that happened in his real life. In previous interviews, he has been talking about he came to the UK from Somalia with his parents as a refugee, and their father was waiting for them in the UK together with other siblings. But apparently that's not the story, that he had to tell a false story every single time. But it reached a time where he had to say the truth because he felt like the dark past was behind him and he wanted to be very open with his followers. Right now he's doing a documentary for BBC. It's actually supposed to be debuting this week. Its name is The Real Mo Farah. So The Real Mo Farah, he talks about being kidnapped and being trafficked to the UK as a young kid while he was a very young boy. So he was born in Somalia. He even claims that his real name is not Mo Farah. He was born Hussein Abdi Kahin in Somalia. He also has a twin whose name is Hassan. So while they were growing up as a kid, the father unfortunately died in 1987 in a civil war. And this is when Samo and his twin were sent to Djibouti to stay with their uncle by their mother for their own safety due to the civil war that was still going on. So around this time, there was a woman who would come and visit just to check on Hussein Abdi Kahin. After a while, this woman told the boy that he was going to carry him to UK, where his relatives are waiting for him, and they're going to be staying there with him. So the day that he was carried, Mo Farah, as a kid, he was not that dumb. He tried to write the contacts of his people, write down on a paper and carry them in his pocket. So when they landed at the UK airport, when the woman saw these numbers, she tore the papers apart. This is what she said, that he ripped it off and threw it in the bin. And as the old saying goes, it was at that moment that he knew that he was in trouble because he had no one else to contact. So while he was living with this lady, he used to go through a lot. He has been going through domestic servitude. While working here, he used to look after the kids. He would cook for them. He would shower them, clean them. And this is only to get food in his mouth. So he was also one that if he wanted to ever see his relatives again, he is going to have to never tell anyone what's going on. But one day while Mo Farah was on PE, he confided in his teacher. So there's this PE teacher who noted that Mo Farah is very talented, according to how he ran. His name is Alan. That was Alan Watkinson, his PE teacher. He confided in him and told him whatever goes on at home. So after confiding in him, the teacher tried to go to social services and they reported the activities that have been going on. And Mo Farah was placed with Kinsey Farah, who is a mother of a friend. So after this incident, they stayed together with the family for 7 years. Mo Farah confesses to be very happy during this time. But then when Mo Farah hit 14 years, he wanted to represent his school in the English schools tournament of Europe athletics, and his running career, this is where it all began. But then he did not have the documentation. This is what this PE teacher did. He went to the Home Office and applied and secured a citizenship for him using the fake name. Up to date, Alan Watkinson still thinks that could have been a mistake because he would have used his real name, but he wasn't thinking clearly at the time. So right now, Samo has already united with his mother. They reunited in 2000. His mother's name is Aisha. This is after the relatives were recognized him on TV. As you already know, Mo Farah is a worldwide known athlete. So right now he says that his only fear is that his wife and him fear losing their citizenship because it was obtained by fraud. But they know that the risk of losing that citizenship is lowered because Mo Farah was trafficked as a young kid. Also, this PE teacher who played a very, very important role in making Mo Farah achieve his dreams was his best man at his wedding, and they're still good friends up to date. So those are the true accounts of Mo Farah. You can catch that on the upcoming documentary on BBC called The Real Mo Farah. Moving on to the next story. Kids in Texas have been asked to carry clear backpacks to school. That is what that is what is going on in that side of the world right now. So carrying a clear backpack is obviously a breach to your privacy, but this is why they have asked these kids to do so. There have been previous school shootings around the areas for quite a while now, and the area is not safe. So they urge the students to come in with clear backpacks so that it will make it easier for them to see what they're carrying in their school backpack, and also it will reduce the time that the teachers are going to be using to inspect the students as they are coming in for the upcoming school year. Something else that happened in this school is that the elementary, it's not even a question. In elementary level, in middle level, in high school level, you have to carry a clear backpack. So it cuts across all ages. And this is not the first state to pass that law. It has also been done in Florida. It has also been done in Michigan. This is after an announcement 2 weeks after Robb Elementary School was gunned by an 18-year-old who ended up killing 19 students and 2 teachers. Such a tremendous loss. Moving on to another story, NASA images that have been released of the universe that have never been seen. So this is a tremendous move in the world of astronomy. The scientists are calling it's like the moon landing for astronomy. They're also saying it's a start of new era of viewing the universe, rather. This is because there is a telescope that was launched. It's called the James Webb Space Telescope. So apparently the James Webb Space Telescope is the world's most advanced observatory, and it floats around 1 million miles away from Earth. It literally scans the heavens. So James Webb Space Telescope was launched last Christmas, just the previous year, and then it has taken 30 years to get off the ground. So right now is when it has started sending big images back to Earth. So from the images we can see things that have never been seen before. This is an eye-opener for whatever is going on in the universe beyond us. From the images, we can see hundreds of previously hidden stars. We can see undiscovered galaxies. We can see strange ghost-like protrusions emerging from the dust cloud. And we can also see some dead planets. This James Webb Space Telescope also detected water in the atmosphere of an exoplanet called WASP-96b. This is a planet that's 1,000 light years away from us. So it gives hope of the future when it comes to learning about what's happening in the universe for us. So we could also find out if there's a whole other alien life in these exoplanets. Now, another story that might be puzzling Kenyans is the fact that you have heard about Wajakoya speak about feeding your chicken with weed so that they can be more productive. So today we are doing a fact checking. Are these claims true or not? So according to a study that was done in a farm in Thailand, this is an organic farm that were rearing chicken. They say that since they started feeding their chicken with weed, they have become more immune to disease, and they have become more tender-based in the amino acid and lipid profiles compared to non-supplemented chicken. And it's also very difficult for them to catch avian bronchitis, which is a very huge disease that catches chicken, right? So right now the farmers can be able to save more. The question that you might be asking yourself is, will eating chicken that have been fed with weed make you high? No, that will not be the case. This is not the only health breakthrough that has happened in the industry for cannabis. The other time, a report that was published said that acids extracted from cannabis blocked COVID infection rates, and in some instances it even worked better than the vaccine. So this is because it improves gut health, and one of the major communications to the immune system is your gut. That is how it works. Now, another thing that we're going to be discussing once we come back from the break is this world's speed limit that has been set at 20 miles per hour. That's very ridiculous, but they have very good reasons for setting up this speed limit at this pace. And also, we are going to be coming up with our Did You Know segment. If this 5-work weekday has been bothering you, we're going to know who invented this workday. And today's trailblazer is a Kenyan making impact all around the world. He's an environmentalist. He's everything to look out for in the future. So we're going to be discussing this right after this short commercial break. Thanks very much for staying with us. This is What's Up Today, your surefire daily updates. And I've come back with the story of Wales, a state that has lowered the speed limit to 20 miles per hour. That is approximately 32 kilometers per hour. So this is ridiculous when you're trying to travel along the road, but this is the reason that they gave out. They said that 1,137 people were killed in accidents in 2018, and that is like 50% of collisions on roads with 30 miles per hour limit. So this is in a bid to try to make the people cut car usage. You might be asking yourself the question, what will the government do if they really want to make people exercise? This is the first step, lowering speed limits to ridiculously low limits. So this is an act that has been done by the government in a bid to cut car usage. It's also going to be encouraging people to use bicycles while going to work, using bikes, using speed bikes, that is. It's also going to be encouraging people to exercise, and this is very important for your physical and mental health. Now, on Did You Know segment of today, who said that you should work from Monday to Friday? Who made those rules? So today's Did You Know segment, we're going to be discussing the story of the inventor of this 5-work day. His name is Henry Ford. Henry Ford, in 1914, created a factory assembly line. This assembly line was meant to make his workers more efficient in their work. That is to increase productivity and lessen the amount of time they're supposed to use while they're at work. In 1914, when he created this factory assembly line, his company's productivity skyrocketed. And from then, employees saw the method rather that he applied, and thought that this is a good method that could apply to make our employees more productive. So he decided to double the pay and reduce workday from 9 hours to 8 hours, and also reduce the work week from all days of the week to 5 days a week. He doubled the pay from $2.34 to $5. And this is how they became more productive, because they stayed more motivated and could do more in lesser time. The nation was shocked at whatever method that he was applying, because these workers were becoming even more loyal. No one was forcing them to work. Then, since manufacturers worldwide followed his lead, it has become a standard practice, and it became a law in 1938. It was a clause called Fair Labor Standards at the Constitution that asks that laborers should have time to work and time to rest. This was not his original idea. The idea was from activists 100 years before. So 100 years before, there were activists who were campaigning against working 70 hours a week in a factory. They said that it was unsustainable. The name of the leader of the activist group was Robert Owen, and he put this out in 1817. And 100 years later, Henry Ford put it to work. So the work week shrunk from 70 hours to 40 hours. And economists predicted that the trend will continue for quite a while. Richard Nixon in 1956 suggested a 4-day work week that was coming in the future. Well, right now, leaders who are campaigning are suggesting the same 4-day work week, including our very own Wajakoya. Not only that, other states even in abroad have started have started applying this method because it improves productivity. That is the main aim of it. So there has been a great resignation phase. This is when the COVID-19 hit. The companies are facing great problems while finding workers, because now people figure out they can work from home, they can work remotely, and make sure like everything is submitted in time. According to a study, it is said that some professions are prone to be more productive while they concentrate in less hours compared to concentrating for longer hours. Some of these careers are programmers, writers, animators, people who work with deadlines. They're allowed to work these short hours. Also, they have introduced something else that we call an asynchronous work week schedule. This means that work doesn't have to be done same hours as other workers. So even if you can do your work at 2 p.m., you can still submit it. In this current era of overwork and burnout, companies have to change an outdated and overdone work structure. This is to help them attract talent and even grow. Moving on to today's trailblazer. Today's trailblazer is a Kenyan. That's right, that's one of our own. So this is an environmentalist at core. He's also an innovator. He's a creative. His name, before even we get to his name, this is a man who lives in Mombasa. He's 26 years old. He decided to help the environment in this way. So he has been looking at the environment and noticing that there is a lot of coconut husks that are lying on the beach, on the street, everywhere. They're just causing pollution. Yes, coconut husks are natural, but now they're beginning to become a bother since they are staying on the street and like places where they're not wanted, obviously. So he decided, let me make a company that could collect all these and recycle them. So he decided to start working on a factory that can work on recycling these products. So he recycles coconut husks and makes coconut peat out of it. You might be asking yourself, what's coconut peat? Coconut peat is a shredded form of coconut husks, and it's used as an alternative for soil. So farmers who are trying to do their farming remotely or areas where the soil is not productive, this is a very good alternative for it. And also it saves on a lot of levies. For example, if you're trying to import the coconut peat from other countries and so forth. Our today's trailblazer's name is James Kapombe. The 26-year-old now recycles 20,000 of coconut husk waste per week, and that's a lot. And this is going to help a lot with the farmers and the people, the local producers. He has networked with a couple of 10,000 farmers locally who produce coconut, and they're able to give to him the coconut husks. So when he's given the coconut husks, he produces them to something else. After this, after he started making the coconut peat, he also realized this product could be used to make a coil rope. This is a rope used in construction and packaging as an alternative to plastic. So these are all very good environmental measures that he's taking to save the world in a global warming era that we have been dealing with. James Kapombe is now the founder of Coco Grow Kenya. He upcycles coconut husk waste into useful green products. When he noticed that most cocoa peat is imported from Asia and that it comes to Kenya while its cost is very high, he decided to improve the local sector of the local agricultural sector by reducing costs and providing better quality coconut husks. You know, Kenya is apparently producing the best quality coconut peat because of the climate conditions of the area. Something else that it has helped farmers with is that now, because the coconut peat is coming at a cheaper rate, they're able to save on shipment costs, they're able to save on taxes, able to save on transport even to the company, and more levies that come with all this importation of the product. According to Judith Ogema, who is an agricultural who is the owner of Agricultural That Corporation, he says that this has reduced the cost of coconut peat up to 50%, and it's going to benefit the local farmers because they sell husks for recycling. Before, these local farmers, you might be wondering where they used to take these coconut pits, right? Apart from the ones that were laying in the street, of course, they used to give them to women to use for firewood. Of course, these women were not paying as much as James Kapombe is paying them right now. So obviously it has increased production in that sector. It's going to help the farmers who are also in the production business of producing, you know, the coconut pit. Now that's a thing in Kenya because James Kapombe is a trailblazer of it. Something else that you need to note about the Cocoa Grow Kenya, this company that James Kapombe founded, is that it can host up to 50,000 husks, and that is 2 weeks material, and he'll be done producing it within that amount of time and put it out so that people can use it. Something else is that 25,000 husks a week are recycled when the peak season is here. Something else you need to note about it is he produces 100,000 liters of cocoa pit in a month. That is his highest production capacity when production is at peak. And these are 100,000 liters of cocoa pit cost up to $4,000 US. Now that's a person who is helping the economy and the environment in all ways he can. So today we are hailing James Kapombe for his very good work to the environment. Well, James Kapombe is not helping Kenyans. He's going to be expanding to Mozambique, Ghana, and Nigeria in the coming years. That's today's trailblazer. His name is James Kapombe. Check him out on social media. And that's what's up today. My name is Cynthia Mutua. Remember to catch me tomorrow, same time, same place for your surefire daily updates.